Welcome back to another episode of the Backholder Pod. So I think today specifically, we wanted to pioneer a new idea where I believe you'll see some other YouTubers talking about their stock picks or talking about their portfolio review for the year 2024. And since hopefully we are still at the start when the video is released, we're gonna maybe go around the table and to understand from your perspective, maybe provide two names on what do you think will be the best performer and the worst performer for 2024. I think we're not going to limit the discussion, so you can pick existing companies in your portfolio or likewise things that you've seen online as well. So maybe we'll kickstart the discussion. We'll get Kelvin to start your best performer and worst performer expectations and why.
Best performer, I would say is Bitcoin. As to how high, I have no idea. I don't want to give a number because people will just hold me to that number. I would just say it will be higher than from now lah. Okay, what are the catalysts for Bitcoin? The first thing, it was the Bitcoin ETF, which means more people will be interested in investing in it lah. So previously, there's a big learning curve to when you want to invest in crypto. Like you need to have crypto exchange, you need to transfer out. You don't transfer out, you get your crypto exchange collapse or something like that. So now with Bitcoin ETF, all that complexity is handled by the ETF fund manager like BlackRock. Then the other thing is that their halving will happen in April. Halving just means that there'll be lesser payout when you solve all the crypto problems lah. So that's the first thing. Second is the hash rate has been going up for crypto. This means that a lot of people still believe that crypto is not a scam, even though all the electricity power that's been used to mine crypto has been going up. People are still mining for it because they believe there's value. Then the third one, the Bitcoin, that's because people say that supply of Bitcoin correlates to its price. So the lower the supply, the higher its price. So far, it has been correlating nicely lah. All these reasons add up. I'm bullish on Bitcoin lah. But it doesn't mean that I'm going all in on Bitcoin lah. Just want to give a disclaimer. It's just a small part of my portfolio. So that's the bullish one. Not so bullish one, actually, I would say is REITs lah, REITs. So even though interest rates are going down soon, the impact of interest rate have not really impacted the REITs yet lah. When the debt matures in 2024, there are maybe about 10 to 20% of the debt are going to be refinanced at a higher rate. So that means REITs will have lesser profit overall. Plus, there could be a recession coming soon, right? So maybe rental reversion may not go up as fast as compared to previously. Yeah, so that's my bearish one lah.
Or we're gonna move to the next one. Okay, Eric.
My bullish one, I think, is Microsoft. It's quite a blue chip lah. I won't say it's as speculative as Bitcoin lah. I like it because of its recurring income. So far, I see like after the year, which I can't remember which year, when they switched to like subscription model, right? I think their business really took off in a different way. Rather than previously, I think quite long ago, like early 2000s, right? It was still on like you can purchase the software one shot. You pay like $200-300 or 100 plus. Then you can use it for forever. Then they change it to subscription, although it's a little bit cheaper, but every year you have to pay. So if you use the free model online, I think it's still not that good. Now that they bundle it with the drive, storage, all that, right? Plus the fact that they have a core option in the ChatGPT. Although it's like now still a small percentage, but I see that it could be a wild card. So for that reason, I think I'll go with Microsoft because of the strong recurring income, plus they have a wild card. I like their conservative management of their finances also. They're very, very prudent in their dividend payout and all those things. Actually had a hard time thinking about the bad stocks. But one stock that came to my mind is the Lipo Mall. I will call this my bad pick. I really think the management sucks big time. Any way that they can screw the investor, right? They will do it. They'll find out one fine day, they're like, I can screw them this way. Okay, let's do it. they'll just like raise rights and all those things. Everything that they can do, right, to screw the shareholders, they will do it. Okay, so if you don't believe me, you can bring up their Lipo Mall chart and then you can see how they absolutely destroyed the shareholders. So you look at this is their all-time chart. Wow, it absolutely collapsed. Now it's like 1.5 cents. So I don't know how low it can go, but I think the bottom's the limit, right? Not the sky's the limit, the bottom's the limit. Maybe they can even make it negative. I don't know. Don't put it out of their range. Don't underestimate lipo more management. Okay, so that's my two takes.
I go next. Before I say this, right, I have to say we are doing this as a game. It's not like a serious prediction or we will put like tons of money behind it. Just play for fun so that 1 year later we can come back and discuss again. So okay, my bullish pick is Nvidia. Because why? Just now Chicken asked me to pick Nvidia. No, actually that's my pick as well because I've done this, the annual guessing game with my community, and then I actually have to look up on the spreadsheet to make sure that I which one I pick. Okay, I pick Nvidia. The reason is not because like all this AI stuff people talk about, like earnings exploding, Jensen Huang, the best CEO. I won't say that now. Those are all true, but I think no need to keep on repeating the same thing. But just for, we are talking about 1 year horizon, right? So that we can look over next year. Usually over 1 year horizon, what among so many factors, right? What is more predictable is actually the price momentum. And if you look at price momentum for all these stocks, right, I think Nvidia is the one that stands up. So what it means is that whatever that have strong upward momentum will tend to continue to do so. And we have seen so, right? If you compare last year return, right, versus year to date this year, which is only like we're talking about 2 weeks, maybe plus, right? You look at their correlation are still strong now, which means the momentum are still intact. So I think that's why I picked Nvidia purely from momentum perspective. Okay, won't go into details on the company. And one more thing I can mention is that even people might look at the price and say it is expensive, right? Even Adam Khoo also mentioned that this is not like super expensive. He mentioned in one of his video, the Magnificent Seven. So can check out his video to find out more on his valuation. Then on the bearish pick, I'll pick Rivian, the EV company. I mean, I don't know. I actually haven't done a lot of analysis, but I just felt that in the EV space or just in the auto industry, right, it seems that it's getting a lot more competitive. You can see that all these automakers are cutting prices. I mean, the competition is going crazy now. So Rivian is not like saying their management is bad or anything like that. It's just that the environment that they are in is super competitive and they are still cash burning. And I think if they can't manage their cash well, there might be some problem down the road. The good part is that they have a strong backing from their investor. So that's the part that may give you a little bit of comfort, but I think only a little bit. So whoever that go bullish on this, you might want to pay attention to the fundamentals more. Okay.
So maybe I'll start off with my bearish pick. So I'm actually bearish on Nvidia. No, I'm just joking. Actually, this was a conversation that I had with a friend, right? Actually, I was talking to Boon Tee about it as well. Actually, Nvidia is a company that I want to own, but I don't know, valuations is a very hard pill to swallow. And Boon Tee just tell me, never mind. Just buy first. Buy a bit. Just buy 1 or 2 shares or 3 shares and then start building the position from there. But I guess it's how you want to play the game. But anyway, I think on my bearish pick, actually I have the same train of thought as Boon Tee, but more specifically, I am more bearish on the Chinese EV companies, excluding BYD. So I'm talking about the more smaller ones like NIO, XPeng, Li Auto, those kind. This is actually not the first time I have opined on this issue. Because if you go to my YouTube channel and you search, I love the internet because everything is archived. So I made a bearish video on NIO before. That was in July of 2022. So that was around 1.5 years back. So NIO back then was I think $20+ and it's at 6 today. But of course, people still just remember me that I picked Alibaba, but everything else is just not counted, right? Meta, I was trying to ask people to buy, not counted. Never mind. Anyway, I think for NIO specifically, when you really look at the EV space in China, right? I think it's a very similar issue in the US where it's a winner takes all, or at least when you need to achieve scale, brand equity and stuff like that, right? All these are in play. So that's why the worry for many of these smaller EV players is that whether they can quickly achieve that status, that breaking point or that turning point fast enough while still burning money, not being profitable and stuff like that. I just feel like in 2024, things are not looking good, especially for Chinese players because the Chinese consumption market is not as strong, or at least we don't see huge stimulus. So I mean, ceteris paribus, assuming that there's no big stimulus coming in, if they're not going to pump like crazy amount of money, then I don't see the consumption coming back. That's one. And number two, it really feels like the bigger players like Geely, BYD, they have hit they have hit critical mass, and it's very hard for all these smaller players to come up. That's why I'm not bullish on them. And in fact, I haven't been bullish on them for a very long time. Yeah, so this is just a rehash of my opinion on the Chinese EV players, excluding the 2, 3 big ones in China today. Yeah. Then of course the bullish one, I have been bullish again. Same thing. I've been bullish on Chinese tech. I'm still bullish in Chinese tech in 2024. So I'm a very simple man. I don't really change my opinion very quickly. Yeah, I think Tencent, Baba, some of the popular ones, I have always been bullish on them, lah, and I'll still remain bullish on them. Explanation, I have 300 videos for you, so you can take a look at them. Yeah, I think that's about it. In fact, if you want to talk about US, right, I think in Boon Tee's exercise, I also put down a similar factor. I'm actually quite interested in healthcare, US healthcare specifically, in general. Not the Pfizer, Moderna, those kind, but more so your bigger ones like United Health, Thermo Fisher, those are all AK picks lah. So I'm not something special. I just felt that there might be a rotation coming over because Max 7 has had a very pretty good run in 2023. Not sure how 2024 will play out. But yeah, medical devices, and the healthcare industry, insurance, Elevance Health, those kind in general, I think should see quite happy ending in 2024, hopefully, because they are considered defensive as well. So yeah, that's my take on it. Anything else?
You on the spreadsheet that you fill up, you actually bearish on Ping Tuo Tuo.
Oh no lah, that
You
one
want to comment on that?
it's supposed to be a joke lah, because you know, I just find them a bit sus lah, but that's about it.
Sus, or is it like you think that everything that have strong upward momentum should come down?
Oh no. I don't think so. If I had that mentality, then I would have sell my meta as well. It's sus, meaning I've been following the company ma. There's not much disclosure and there's not much categorization. And the growth is crazy, bro. It's not even real. Like, I think you think Nvidia's growth is crazy. I think Pinduoduo's growth, because Pinduoduo started earlier, by the way, and there was no catalyst also. So Nvidia still have the whole AI, China ban, everybody rushing, right? Pinduoduo is just, guys, I'm gonna expand the US, and then they show you they expand the US, and then boom, 100% year on year. Then I'm like, okay, good for them. For those of you invested in Pinduoduo, kudos to you. But yeah, it just feels very unreal, and I don't really have better insights into how they disclose lah. So that's why yeah, but Pinduoduo is a joke lah. I'm more bearish on Chinese EV actually, or at least I've been bearish for a very long time. If you go to my channel, I think I have a video that say why I hate NIO or why I think NIO is a sell or something like that. That video got quite a lot of heat, by the way, because I believe the NIO community on YouTube is also quite strong. Tesla is a big cult. NIO is a subset cult. Like, there's a few videos, a few channels that talk about NIO specifically, and got quite a lot of pushback from that community. But I guess time will tell. Hopefully they'll earn money, but I just think the Chinese EV space is crazy lah. Actually, I wanted to ask about Boon Tee and Eric's view on Bitcoin. So Kelvin was bullish on Bitcoin, right, for 2024. What's your opinion on this? The ETF just came out. Halving is gonna come. Yeah, Boon Tee, exposure on Bitcoin and your thoughts on Bitcoin for 24.
When it comes to all these ETF, right? I would imagine how to put an analogy to it is that imagine you own a private company and now it just IPO, right? So is IPO the right time to buy the shares? That's the questions that I'm asking myself. It just means that now it's a lot easier for people to access. Anyone who has a brokerage account can buy Bitcoin, whereas last time you need to open specific like crypto wallet, make a crypto exchange account, and so on. So the access is getting better, but it just means that now they open up all this liquidity in, right? All these people that come in now could become like the exit liquidity, I'm not saying that Bitcoin over the long term won't increase in price. The thesis, right? Since day one until now, the thesis is still the same. It's all about the limited quantity of supply. Then you get independent from all these monetary and control of the government and so on. So all these arguments, right? You can repeat it like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years later. It's still the truth. It's still the same. It's just that now the new things is all these Bitcoin ETF things which I don't think it make a lot of difference. I'm just drawing this analogy like you have a private company, you own the shares, now it just went public. Will it change the fundamental? And it won't, right? It's still the same one. But if you get in now, just be careful that, I don't know, it could be over the short term. I'm talking about maybe over the next 3-5 years. If this is indeed become the engineer exit liquidity, then you buy now, you probably just need to stuck there for a while. But the long-term thesis is the same.
New liquidity. So the people who are buying the ETF now, I would say they are mostly retail investors for now. So I think you are right that they are actually the asset liquidity for people. That's why we saw a huge drop that just a few days ago, because people were selling their GBTCs that day lah. So there was a lot of money flowing out from there. People were just dumping their Bitcoin shares. Not the Bitcoin itself, it's just they are selling the GBTC itself. And for institutional investors to want to invest in Bitcoin, actually it's not really institutional investors. It's just whether the fund managers want to offer Bitcoin as part of their portfolio or not. It depends on whether their client want to invest in Bitcoin or not. So for example, like endowers, for endowers to create a Bitcoin, to put Bitcoin in one of their ETF, the investors will need to want to see Bitcoin in the ETF. So without that demand, the fund managers won't have any reason to put Bitcoin in there. Institutional wise, people who want to invest in it have more or less invested in it already. Like what's that? Tesla? I think Tesla sold most of it already, right? Then that's the other one. I also forgot who. A MicroStrategy. Yeah, the guy is a bit fanatic. I will just ignore him. But for the rest, people who are serious about this who have already gone in. So the rest are more like what I said, the fund managers offering portfolios that have Bitcoin in it. So stuff like pension funds, or even like Singapore, the SRS, the CPF kind of thing. There needs to be demand for it for institutions to provide for it. Other than that, it's mostly just asset liquidity for now.
Okay, I think I mentioned before that this year, I think it should be quite a bullish year for Bitcoin because of the halving thing. So I think the last time we saw that happen was 2020, also quite a bullish year. So I'm not like crazy, like optimistic, like, oh, it will go like 10x or 100x or that. I think a 2x shouldn't be an issue. 2x. Okay. This is just a fun prediction, by the way. Of course, I may be wrong. But having said that, I think the Ethereum is also coming up pretty strong. If you look at the ratio between Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? I think Ethereum is the growth in recent months has been stronger than Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin has gone up, it's hopped all the headlines, but Ethereum is also coming out very, very strong. In fact, a bit stronger, I think. So I think now that the Bitcoin hype has been realized, like, oh, okay, finally the ETF is out. The next thing that investors will probably be looking at is the Ethereum. In fact, they've been looking at it like ever since there was talk of Bitcoin ETF. So that's why they've been like, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of activity. Yeah, so you probably will see Ethereum like starting to pump a bit more than Bitcoin, which has already passed the actual thing already. Yeah, so that's just speculation, like what we say. Yeah, so if you're a true speculator, you know what to look at. Then after the Ethereum is almost done already, right? Then you know what's the next thing to look at, right?
Olas.
Shit coins.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always like this. You pump the top one, Bitcoin, then it flows down to the Ethereum. Then after that, all the top 10 coins. And then after that is all the shit coins. And then when you see all the shit coins becoming millionaire, right, you know that the end is near. Which is what happened the last round also. Like everybody telling you, bro, I tell you, confirm. This shit coin. Although the literal icon is a piece of shit, but I tell you, it has multiplied so many shitty times. We're gonna become millionaire bros. So that's why the crypto bros term came in, right? Like, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's quite fun actually. It's just that I probably cannot participate in the fun because I don't want to be cancelled.
So my theory is that people who buy into this kind of shitcoins, right, are the same people who can't. I'm going to get cancelled for this. So yeah, okay, there are actually just two ways to earn money, right? You either earn it yourself or you rely on others to earn it. So with the people who buy it, the people who buy lottery, who go to Singapore pools, are usually just the people who are who have lower income. That's what I would say. Who have lower income. So if you ask people like Boon Tee, Eric, they won't really buy into these kind of things because they know their earning power. Even for Keng, I'm not excluding him. They know their earning power is easily higher than whatever they can earn from crypto. So let's say if you want to invest in crypto, how much can you invest? How much can you afford to lose, right? Not a lot, right? So even if the gain is like 1,000%, which is very rare, you will only earn like I don't know how much, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. To earn this amount based on luck is actually, I don't know, it's not replicatable. So most people would, like, even for me, I would just ignore these kind of things. Even though the promise of high returns is good, I would just ignore it. Because I know that my earning power is easily that amount high, much higher than that. Yeah. That's why back then, like Chicken Genius, he talked about this whole OLAS. Everyone was asking me, "Oh, Kelvin, how to buy OLAS?" I straight away just ignore it because I know that first thing, I did not invest that kind of money into it. I can easily earn that kind of money elsewhere. Then I can't afford to lose that money. Yeah, so that's it.
Actually, it's quite interesting though. Even though you said that, right? I believe Boon Tee and Eric still have exposure to crypto. It's just that it's quite a small percentage. I used to think conventionally it's only the young people that like to play crypto, but it seems like people in their 30s and 40s also play crypto. But in fact, in this group, it's the opposite. The youngest one don't play crypto, but Eric was still, we had a private conversation. Eric was like, "Hey, Chiking, just buy lah, buy. It's like Boon Tee, the same advice, by the way. So they keep advising, even though it's not financial advice, right?
It's not financial advice.
Yeah,
We were
publicly
just
we cannot
joking.
say is publicly we cannot give financial advice, but privately, right, they keep saying, "Hey, Chiking, Nvidia are not expensive, but buy one lah or buy two. Never mind, just start a position first. Then we talk about it." Then Eric also will say,
Hey,
"Hey,
didn't you tell us the same thing to buy
Bitcoin."
Baba at
That's why
20?
it's all correct. It's all private conversation. It's all joking, by the way, guys. Let's not treat this as financial advice, but we are all the same. That's why we are friends, right? We all keep doing these kind of things. But anyway, to me, the Bitcoin, my idea of Bitcoin is simple, lah. Because if the idea of digital gold is there, it means that it's a story that people needs to buy into. Similarly, I think for gold, like physical gold, right now you can say that the users of gold can make jewelry and stuff, but people need to believe that gold has value, then there is value. So it's really the idea of how widespread or how pervasive the story is and how many people buy into it. So if really, I believe there was this comparison where gold don't know how many tens of trillions of dollars, then Bitcoin is like 1 trillion dollars. So if there is that standing, there is quite amount of money where Bitcoin can actually 2x, 5x, 10x from here. I think for now, I'm still not bought into the story yet. So evidently, I don't have Bitcoin exposure. But I don't want to say that I would never buy into the story. So whether this will be the next goal or whether this will be the next tulip, I think I have the next 20 years to see. So I'm not in a hurry. I hope I close off this entire Bitcoin discussion. If not, we look forward to looking at what you guys say for 2024 and what's your bullish and bearish pick. Regardless whether it's stocks, crypto, or whatever other asset classes. With that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.